Hey, what's happening, everyone? So I've been trying to think of something different to do for videos, and it took me a while to think of it, but I decided maybe a podcast would be something for me to do because I don't know, I can only buy so many guns at a time, and I got a lot of shit on my mind, and basically my mind runs about 1,000 miles a second, 24 hours a day, and I don't know, I come up with some crazy, weird shit sometimes. I've always wanted to record myself just rambling on because I talk to myself all the time because there's just so much going on that I gotta spit some of it out and keep my head from exploding. So I'd always thought about just like a tape recorder or something, just so I can go back and listen to some of the things that I've come up with. But I don't know. I figured why not just put it up for somebody in case they want to hear it. I just pretty much plan on just sitting and rambling on and going off on tangents and just talking about a bunch of random shit. And I'm gonna try to. I always watch the videos before I put them on the internet, so I'll try to get where I put like the timestamps at different points if I change, like drastically change subject or something. But I don't know. I like history. I like space a lot. Who knows? I mean, when I just start rambling anything, I can come up with anything. So I don't know if anybody out there is even going to be interested, but I'm trying to find a way to make a lot of money, and I'm not really all that skilled in a whole lot of shit in this world. I can cook real well, but there ain't a whole lot of money in that. I don't know, at least not the kind of work that I want to do. But anyways, somehow, someday, I want to change the world for the better. I got to find some way to do it. I don't know how, but to do it, I'm pretty sure I got to make a lot of money. And the things that like Elon Musk is doing, like not necessarily those things, but just to see one person who is sending shit to space, going to be sending people to space if he hasn't already, boring tunnels under a major city to try to help out with the traffic problem, and making an entire car company of electric cars to try to help the environment. That's some pretty impressive shit. And I don't know, that's the kind of stuff I'd love to be doing. I mean, not exactly those things. Maybe the space stuff, that'd be badass, but I don't know the first thing about science. I probably couldn't even pass a basic, any kind of science class, so that's kind of out the window. But trying to find a way to make money, so that's why I guess I've been putting a lot of videos up online just about guns and everything, just so I can at least get on, get my face and name out there. But I don't know. I'm gonna sit and just talk about random things. There's a lot of shit I want to tell people. There's a lot of stuff that I would really like to just have an audience, like a theater, and just have people come and sit and listen to me talk about this whatever shit I gotta talk about. So I don't know. I guess I could do it on here, and it's not the same as having a whole audience that came solely to see you, but I guess it can be watched over and over. And if somebody finds it interesting, that's cool. I don't really even know where to start. I guess just have to pick a subject. Like the ridiculous amount of crazy fucking drivers on the road. I don't know where anybody else lives. I live in Northwest Indiana, which is considered part of Chicagoland. So even though we're in Indiana, we got Chicago time zone, we have Chicago weather, Chicago news, Chicago TV stations, Chicago radio stations. If you go on top of a tall building, you can see Chicago on a clear day. So, still Chicagoland. And it's fucking crazy on the roads. I don't understand it. It's like, I swear sometimes, not even sometimes, most of the time, it seems like people just don't even notice that other people are around them. Like, it's like I could seriously see that in their minds when they're driving down the road, they just don't see any other cars or any other people or anything else except themselves. You know, there's an intersection by me, and it's 2 lanes both directions. So if you're heading west, you have 2 straight lanes. You got a right turn lane and a left turn lane. If you're going east, you have a left turn lane and 2 straight lanes, but you got to turn right from the outside lane. And I can't tell you, in the couple of years that I've lived here, which is just over 2 years, at least 5 times, and this is just when I happen to be going through that intersection. Damn, Jackie. Sorry, Jackie just fucking farted. I'm going over there. Let's get your fucking ass that way. There you go. Point it that way. So as I'm going down, I'm heading east, and somebody's coming west, and they're in the turn lane to go north. So they're gonna be making a right to go north. And rush hour too, not middle of the night when there's nobody out. There's fucking cars everywhere. The speed limit's 35, so people are doing anywhere between 20 and 50. And these cars will be coming in that turn lane with the right turn signal on, and then, the last possible second will just jerk the wheel to the left and just dive across traffic, across 7 lanes of fucking traffic. And you got cars who are also heading west in the left turn lane who are sitting out in the intersection waiting, not expecting to see somebody coming from their right and just diving in front of them. They're watching the traffic that's coming so they can turn whenever it's time. And then the car just right across. And the crazy part is, it's not like they punch the gas and, like they're watching the cars to time it right and then just punch it and shoot through. No. Doesn't matter where the cars are. They just cut the wheel, and they don't even speed across. They just do a little 20-mile-an-hour dive across all the traffic. And people slamming on the brakes and honking the horn. And one time I even seen the guy that did the diving across when somebody honked the horn at him because I was coming up on the intersection and I'm right there. Thankfully that wasn't the one that almost hit him. But as the guy honked the horn, the guy that dove across the 7 lanes of traffic gave the guy the fucking finger. Wow. So, yeah, I don't know. There's some crazy shit on the roads. I remember I started driving, 97? I think, fall of 97 I got my license. And, it seemed like from at least until maybe the late 2000s. But, yeah, it had to have been. I'm guessing probably after smartphones came out and became very widespread. But you would see something crazy maybe once a year, maybe twice a year. And I don't know, depending on where you live, but at least around here, what I'd seen, it was like, you see somebody, shit, I don't know, I'm trying to think. Because it would be something that wasn't even that crazy, Like somebody might run a red light or something. People are like, oh my God, I can't believe this guy had the fucking balls to do that. And now there's no rules anymore. And I don't think that a lot of people out there have any idea what a yield sign is, because I see all the time people have the way that they interact with intersections. They have a yield sign. They clearly have no fucking idea what they're doing. So one day I'm going down the highway, and it's a clover leaf, so I get off, I'm coming around, and there was a car in front of me that was probably 5 or 6 car lengths ahead. And as you come up to there, right as that curve straightens out, that's it ends, and you have to get into that outside lane right away. And there's a yield sign. It's off to the left here, but it's there, clear as day. So the car in front of me, they have plenty of time and space. They go on about the way. And as I'm coming up, there are about 8 cars in a row. And then each one of them is literally 1 car length away from the car in front of them. A line of 8, and they're all on the outside lane. So as I'm pulling up, the first car is already there. So I just slow down to a stop, and I'm sitting there watching traffic. And this fucking idiot behind me, I kid you not, honks his horn and looks at me. He's like, like, there's a fucking. I looked out the window. I'm like, there's a fucking yield sign, you fucking asshole. And as I'm yelling out this window, I couldn't see his car. And then I look forward, and this fucking idiot is trying to go around me on the dirt, on the edge of the top of this cloverleaf curve here, and it's trying to go around me. And looking at me like I'm the asshole. I'm like, so basically, you just want me to just hit the gas and go out and either T-bone a car or get T-boned myself by a car that's probably doing about 45 miles an hour just because you're a fucking asshole. Fuck yourself, dude. So, I pull onto the road, and I jumped over the inside lane when the traffic was clear, and I opened my back window of my truck, and I'm like, dude, there's a fucking yield sign, man. And this dude looks at me and goes, fuck you. That's one of those moments that I got so pissed off that I flashed my gun at the guy. And after that, he just was going really slow. I stayed the speed limit, 45, and he just never caught up. Finally, I didn't see him anymore in the mirror. Like, Jesus, man, what is wrong with people? I don't understand it. And for anybody out there that may ever watch this and doesn't know what a yield sign is, it's the fucking upside down triangle. It's a white sign that has a red border around it, and that means wherever you're about to cross doesn't stop. They don't have a stop sign, they don't have a yield sign, they have what they call the right-of-way. I think a lot of people out there forget what the fuck, they probably don't know what the word right-of-way means. But these people, that means it's their turn. And if you have a yield sign, and you're coming up to the spot, and there's cars coming, it ain't your fucking turn. Stop. Wait till the traffic's clear, and then fucking go. And as you're coming up to that yield sign, if there's nobody coming, it's then your turn. And I don't know about different other areas of the country, because unfortunately, I spent my whole life in this shithole. So around here, though, we have a lot of crosswalk areas, bike trails, to where now that the bike trails, they don't have stop signs on like a major road. They'll have like a flashing red light or something. What the fuck is wrong with this camera? They will have a flashing red light or something that changes every now and then. It stops traffic and lets people go. But on the side streets, they have these little posts sticking up. It says state law, yield for pedestrian traffic. Now, I cannot tell you how many times cars come up, and as you're coming up there, it says yield. It doesn't say stop, because there are some that will actually say stop for pedestrians. But then again, if there's no pedestrians, you don't stop. But I don't know. Even that one with the little stop sign is kind of sketchy, because if if I see a cop coming, I'm just gonna stop just in case, because that one I'm not 100% on. But the ones that have a yield sign, as you're coming up on it, say you're coming up on this bike trail, if there's nobody coming, I mean, yeah, you might want to slow down a little bit, because sometimes you can't see the bike trail crossings. But as you're getting up to it, if there's nobody there, keep fucking going. You don't stop. You only stop for people. And if there's no people, it's then your turn. All the time. I mean, it's weird because, 15, 20 years ago, to see somebody do anything even remotely crazy, it blew my mind. I couldn't believe it, because you never would see shit like that. And, now if I were to go 1 mile down the main road and back, and I didn't see at least 5 crazy fucking people doing something stupid, I would be astounded if I didn't see that. I don't know. And here's another thing I don't understand. People riding people's asses. I mean, I cannot tell you how often I look up in the mirror and there's somebody so close to me that I can't see their headlights. And I'm like, alright, well, I always ease over to the right a little bit so they can see the 35 fucking cars in front of me, and I just still ride my ass. And then finally I look at them like, what the fuck do you want me to do? And they just keep riding your ass. And I don't understand. I mean, I have people in brand new expensive cars, and they'll be right there. They're just itching to just fuck their car up. I don't understand it. My truck is like 15 years old. I don't want to get it totaled. It's my fucking way to get to work and get around. I don't want nothing to happen to it. But apparently these people with all these, $100,000 cars just don't give a fuck. I guess they just got money like that. It's their car of the week, and that way they can fuck it up and then just go on to a new one, I guess. But, I don't know. All the time. And I see people up other people's asses all the time, too. Like on the highway, you're doing 90 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour, and you're so close to the fucking car in front of you that they can't see your headlights anymore. Why would you want to do that? Especially when there's other cars in front of them. If anybody locks up their brakes, you're done. You're not going to have time to stop. And I just don't understand why so many people don't want room to stop their vehicle so they don't possibly fucking kill themselves or somebody else or the passengers in their car or fucking everybody, But people don't seem to give a shit. So, I don't know. Whenever I'm coming up to my exit on the highway, it's cloverleaf there too. And I can't tell you how many times I'll be coming up and people don't seem to understand that the people that are coming on the highway, you need to leave some fucking room between you and the car in front of you. Why is that, you might ask? Because there's going to be people trying to get off the highway. And if you got 7 cars all a half a car length away from each other, the fucking people trying to get over don't have any way to get over. And me, I just say fuck it if I can't get over and go to the next exit, turn around and come back. But most people are just going to fucking come over and not give a shit anyways and cause a who knows how many car pile up. And, hang on, I gotta put some... Sorry, I had to put some contact solution in my eyes. And that's what's holding up my phone right now. But yeah, it's like, if you leave maybe 2 car lengths in between you and the car in front of you, and everybody does this, as cars are coming down to get on and cars are coming up to get off, it's like a fucking zipper. You got one car, another car. You take turns crisscross each other. I've come up on the exit, and thankfully, God has blessed me with the ability to see all the shit that's going on around me at all times. And as I'm coming up, I'm watching from a quarter mile down the road. I'm already looking to see if any cars are coming down the ramp. And then I adjust my speed accordingly from there. If I have to punch it because there's 5-6 cars in a row that are all scratching each other's ass, then I just fucking punch it and fly and get up and get off ahead of them. Or if it's really there's been times where it's really tight where there's some slow person in front of me, so I can't go ahead, and a car or two will come down, and right where that curves, that lane just continues and comes up. You can just stay on it and come back up and go the other way on the main road. So when I'm in that lane, right before that lane touches the outside lane of the highway, there's a little shoulder right there. So I've actually had to time myself up. Probably scared the shit out of some people, but that's the only thing to do because they don't give you the room. So I time it to where I'm watching the first car coming down, and then I get right as they're just completing that curve and they're still in that exit lane or on-ramp lane. I hit that. I move over to the shoulder, and that way, like, they're coming around, and right as they get here, that shoulder lines up with that lane, and I just right behind them, and then the next car. It's the only way to do it because people don't leave fucking space, and I don't understand why. So, anyways, I think my phone only lets me have 30 minutes, so I guess I'll just have to do 30-minute episodes, and if I got a good topic or I want to just keep rambling because I'm going to be doing it whether the camera's on or not, maybe I could do a part 2 or whatever. I don't know. Something new for me, so I guess work with me for a little bit and I'll try to get some interesting shit out of here. Space. I love space. So many people don't pay any attention to space, don't give a fuck, they don't look at the damn sky half the time. I love watching all the crazy shit that's going on, just It changes throughout the year, but most nights or most times of the year you can at least see one planet in the sky at night, and they follow pretty much the same path across the sky that the moon does, and they look like really bright stars, like extraordinarily bright stars. If you live near a city and it's kind of hard to see a lot of stars, you'll see ones that follow the same path as the moon, and they change even over the course of a couple nights. And these planets like Saturn and Jupiter, they're fucking really far away. And I've noticed that Jupiter is ahead of Saturn in the sky. And since Jupiter should have a shorter orbit around the sun than Saturn should, I just kind of thought about this the other night. I'm going to keep watching over the next couple of years and see if Jupiter, over I don't know how many years it's going to fucking take, because we're moving around and they're moving around and it kind of changes things. But eventually I want to see if one day if Jupiter starts to catch back up to Saturn. And, you don't have to wait, God only knows, I don't even know how many years it takes for Jupiter to go around. It takes Mars, like, just about 2 Earth years to complete an orbit around the sun. So, it's at least a few years. But, I want to see if eventually if it starts to catch up from behind years down the road, because I've never really paid attention to that part before. But Mercury and Venus have really short orbits. I think Mercury is like 88 days, or right about 88 days. So it's constantly throughout the year changing positions, because it's making 365 and 80. What's that? I don't know. My math skills aren't working right now, but it's quite a few times around the sun for our one time around. And Venus is somewhere in between Earth and Mercury in number of days it takes to orbit. So those two are constantly changing positions throughout the sky. Sometimes it'll be up during the day, sometimes it'll be up during the night. So it changes from time to time. There's been times where I've seen no planets at night in the sky. I don't think it's gonna go all night like that. Like, there's bound to be at least one planet at some point in the night, but like there would just be a time that I would go outside and look, and at that particular time there'd be nothing up, And then I had seen 2 planets at once before, where one was just above the horizon about to go down, and the other one had just come up, and they're really far apart. And that was back in like 08 or so, 08, 09, somewhere in there, where I realized, so I first realized you could really see the planets regularly. And this year, just a few months ago, it was, while it was nicer weather, it was at least spring or summer, but for about 15 minutes, once the sun went down, you could see one planet just above the horizon. You could see, so where I'm at, the horizon, the west is that way, east is that way. So you'd have one just still over the horizon, you'd have one up about here, one up here, and one that just came up over the horizon in the east. And so for a short time, you can see 4 of the 5 planets that you can see with the naked eye. So I thought that was kind of cool, because it's not something I don't think that's bound to happen a lot. I'm sure it happens, I'd imagine, at least several times in anyone's lifetime, if not more, but I just had never noticed it before. And I've been watching the planets for, I don't know, at least last 6-7 years, maybe a few more, that I've really been watching. Like every night, when I'm outside having a cigarette, I look up and see what's going on. And I have an app that it's just called Planets, and you can hold it up to the sky and you can see where the planets are, and like if they're on the other side of the Earth, like say they're up during the daytime and it's nighttime right now, obviously, it'll show you like through the Earth where the planets are in that path that they make around all the time, which is kind of cool. I just realized on that app you could turn on to where you can see Uranus and Neptune, and like you can see where they're at, but you can't see them just by looking up at the sky. I don't know what you would need. I don't know if like a strong pair of binoculars would work, or if you need a big telescope or what, but you got 5 that you can see. And it's crazy. Like, I look up at, like, it's weird because you look at Mars, and you look at Saturn and Jupiter, and who the fuck knows, man? I mean, it's just giant gas planets with some sort of a, at least I've heard that Jupiter has some sort of a solid surface. I don't know, it's all some kind of a metal, iron or something, but you know, that's, you look up at Mars though, and you just sit there looking at this planet. It's just floating in the sky. It always seems just a little bit more red than the other planets, and you just look at it and think, damn, it's like a whole fucking planet. I can't remember. I'm gonna have to brush up on some of my facts before I keep making more videos. But it's somewhere, maybe half the size of the Earth. Somewhere in there. The moon's, I think, a quarter the size. Anyways, but just think, this massive planet that's just sitting out there with no atmosphere, just dust everywhere. It's like a fucking giant desert planet that one day we might be fucking living there. I mean, I probably will never be. You'll probably never be. As, generations down the road, though, there's going to be people living there. I mean, somebody's going to push for it. And Elon Musk is trying to push for it, which I think that's really cool. I damn sure don't want to be, if I ever do live there, I'd rather wait until people have been there for a long time and got shit figured out before I try to go up there. Because I do not want to be on the first flight up there. Because, I'd rather other people work out the kinks and then I'll maybe make a trip. But the moon would be crazy. I mean, the moon landings ended mid-70s. I was born in 81, so nobody's ever been on the moon since I've been alive. But when I was a kid, I'm thinking, all right, shit, they just did it in like 74, 75. They went, I'm thinking, I figured any time they'd be going back. But no, I was wrong. I've always wanted to see that. I've always wanted to know that I look up at the moon at night and go, damn, there's fucking people up there right now. 250,000 miles away, roughly. Just up there, doing whatever. That shit's pretty cool. So, I don't know. I'm almost at my 30 minutes here, and I think like 33 minutes, it'll stop that video and then just continue on with the next one. So, I don't really have it in me probably to do a whole nother 30 minutes. And like I said, it's kind of weird talking to a camera about, if I talk about a gun or something, I have a topic that I'm discussing, but I just love thinking about a lot of random shit, I really do. And, I don't know, man, like I said, maybe hopefully somebody will find it interesting. If not, it's fucking free for me to do, so it can't hurt to just give it a shot. But, God, there's just so many things, like music. I had a video about music and a video about film, kind of like an intro to them. And I never did anything else because I don't know, I just didn't want to do it that way. So there'll probably be times where I just sit and do this because it's just going to be about all random things anyways, or whatever's on my mind. So there'll be ones that are probably just about music. There'll be ones that are just about movies or TV shows or actors or actresses or musicians or whoever. So in those episodes, I'll try to label them. So, if you're not trying to hear about my musical taste, you can just go ahead and skip that one or whatever it may be. But, I don't know. Something different, but like I said, I got to figure out some way to make a lot of money because you can't really change the world without a lot of money. And if I die and I don't change the world, like in some kind of major way, I will consider my entire life a complete fucking waste. So, being that I'm about halfway through, I just turned 38 here last month, and life expectancy, I'm about halfway through my life. So, I guess the first half, 20 years of that was going to school and just learning basic shit, but I don't know, the last 20 I haven't done a whole lot of productive stuff with other than just working like everybody else. So, I don't know, trying to come up with new ways to, at least get my name out there, because I gotta figure something out. But I just hit 30 minutes. Alright, well, I just took my time OPMs a little bit ago, and they're starting to kick in. I still gotta take a shower. I don't know. Like I said, I always go over these videos before I post them anyways, so I will try to get timestamps for, major topic changes, because I just randomly go off on tangents. But I'm used to just sitting and talking to myself, thinking out loud constantly, but not talking to my phone. It's kind of weird and a little different, so might take some getting used to. Sometimes I'm sure I'll be talking about guns, other times it'd be about fucking who knows what. But I didn't really have any good topics to start off with. It's just kind of an intro video to it, I guess. But anyways, until next time, I'll see y'all later.